Hello everyone, this is JLove Goes Cartridge, and we are back again with Rose of Winter, where we left off, where Rosemary and Crow had a nice night out in the snow with his magical circle of warmth and springtime shit. I don't look, it's fine, but let's just keep going. I wake up early the next morning, at least I think it's morning. It's hard to tell from inside the cave. We went back inside sometime last night since we didn't want to leave the prince alone for too long. A soft sound from outside, like faraway thunder, shakes me out of sleep. Maybe I should worry about exactly what that is, but it's dark in here and I'm sleepy and I feel good. Like I could take on 3 night rocks at once, when I'm more awake, that is. What a wonderful night. It's hard to believe that a few days ago I'd never even met Crow. Now it almost feels like I've known him for a lifetime. The little prince wakes up soon after me, looking well rested despite the early hour. He's watching me, quietly. Half asleep, it takes me a moment to notice that Crow was nowhere to be found, even though I'm pretty sure he fell asleep next to me. Instead, I find the red rose again, lying in its place. How strange, I thought I'd lost it for good. What time is it? Where's Crow? I don't know, he went outside, but he didn't say why. The prince seems less confrontational. I wonder if he's still feeling subdued after what happened yesterday. Come to think of it, this is the first time I've ever spent any time alone with him. Oh, okay. What are you doing awake, little guy? I can't get back to sleep. I heard something and it woke me up. Yeah, I think I heard it too. It sounded like a rumbling or something, but maybe it was just Crow getting up. So, you and him are friends now, huh? Why do you say that? Because after that, big bird almost got us yesterday, you're always next to each other and smiling at each other. You know, like my mama and papa. Friends. I stared at the imaginary camera again, let me just tell you guys. Yeah, I guess so. Hey, about that, are you going to tell your father about the bird? I mean, it turned out totally fine and you're safe and all, but I don't want him to think I put you in danger or was reckless or anything. No, that's okay. I wasn't going to tell Papa about any of this. Phew, that's a relief. I mean, not that you shouldn't tell your father things, I just, you know... Wait, what do you mean by that? You're not going to tell them what, exactly? About this. Crow told me it's our secret. Crow told you? What just now? What's the secret? When he came to get me a few days ago, he said we were going to go on a little trip, and he'd bring me right back. He said I shouldn't tell Mom and Dad about it, and I said okay, it's so boring at home anyway. This trip hasn't been as fun as he said it'd be, though. I hope we get back soon. I suddenly feel wide awake. Goosebumps brittle my arms, and my mind races to put together what Prince Lagandir is telling me. I'd been holed up in that tavern for days, so of course news of a royal kidnapping wouldn't have reached me yet. And Crow never explained exactly what they were doing out here in the first place. But that means he really kidnapped the prince and lied to me? Why would he do that? And why is he bringing the prince back now? Oh no, this is crazy. He couldn't have done that. Could he? I said I shouldn't tell you about it either, but you're his friends now. But if you're friends now, it's okay, right? I hear another rumbling sound somewhere in the distance. Look, just stay right here for a minute. I have to go check something. Oh boy. I rush outside. A few yards off, facing the vast mountainside that lies behind us, with his arms raised like a maestro. Crow. His cloak and hair whip in the wind, which seems to be blowing faster and faster. The far-off rumble gets louder. Crow, what is this? You kidnapped the prince? I don't want to believe it, but he said... I mean, I didn't want to think you were hiding your powers for a bad reason, but... Crow turns to face me. His eyes look sad and haunted, but he smiles softly. Darling, you've got no reason to trust me. I've been keeping the truth from you this whole time. I won't blame you if you can't forgive me. I can hardly hear his last few words. The rumble rises to a deafening roar, and the ground shakes. Almost too late, I realize what's happening. Did you just summon an avalanche? Oh god, okay, well this is unfortunate. Crow's raised arms are glowing blue, and he waves and gestures into the freezing air. The mountain seems to crumble, as if he's crushing it with a giant invisible hand. Almost too quickly to seem real, a wall of churning snow and stone rushes towards us. I can catch glimpses of that familiar blue light in the onslaught. Those runes, you were marking the mountain in key places so you could trigger an avalanche? An avalanche? What's going on? I whip around and my heart drops. The prince- oh god. The prince has wandered out of the tent and is watching us. I have to keep him safe, but what can I do? I can't fight an avalanche. You kidnapped the prince and now you're going to kill us. Why? Why would you do this? Because you're upset about how the king is treating mages? Explain it to me. He sighs quietly and winks at me as if we're sharing a secret. Close, but no cigar. And with that, he pulls his hands together. The blue light surging from his fingers smash together with a noise like thunderclap. At once, the boulders marked with crow's runes move, as if unaffected by gravity, as if they have a will of their own. They pull together and surge forward just as the avalanche is getting close. Okay, either he's blocking it? Yeah, okay. The marked boulders stop short right in front of us, forming a sort of wall shield, so that the rest of the crashing stone rocks are diverted. I hear the roar scream in my ears as the mountainside shakes around us, but protected by the boulder shield, the three of us are safe. I can't tell how long it lasts, or how long it takes. My heart is pounding and I can hardly think, but eventually the avalanche settles and stops. The three of us, the tent, the donkey, and the path home, are untouched. Crow finally lets his arms drop. He stands like that for a while, hunched over, breathing hard. When he finally looks back at me, he grins with some effort. I can't think of what to say. But the prince steps right up to Crow, his eyes wide in shock and sudden understanding. You saved us? With real magic? I don't know about that, kiddo. What do you think? I don't... A spark of wonder lights up in the prince's eyes, then goes dim. His eyelashes... Oh god. His eyelashes flutter, he takes a stumbling step and nearly falls face first into the snow. Crow was there just in time to catch him. The little prince was totally out cold, overcome with fear and excitement. Gosh, that poor kid sure faints a lot. Ah. It's sleep magic, just a touch. It's sleep magic, just a touch. I used it the last time we were attacked too. Just want him getting through all this without being too traumatized. Wait, yeah. Oh, that makes sense. I guess you were saving us from that avalanche after all. I'm sorry I accused you of trying to kill us. I don't blame you for thinking it, darling. I'd have drawn the same conclusion in your place. Maybe, but that's not how I see you. I just... He reaches out and puts his hand on my shoulder. At his touch, I feel calmer. Rosemary, I promise. It's okay. I still don't understand, though. How did you know the avalanche was going to happen? Simple. I remembered it happened, but no, excuse me? Oh, excuse me? Simple. I remembered it happening, and I remembered being saved the last time I was here. The last time? Now that Crow's cradling the prince in his arms, I notice a few things I hadn't before. Did I not say that they were like... Okay, just saying. Their hair and skin are the exact same shade. They both have thick eyelashes. Their eyes share that bright turquoise color, which is unusual for the Southern Kingdom. They both even have a small earring on their left ear. No, it couldn't be what I'm thinking. Hugh, you said most of your attention went to studying one particular school of magic, a really difficult one. Was that time magic? You are the prince? You came from the future? Boy, was I ever wasting my time trying to pull the wool over your eyes. Come on, it's sunrise, and the Royal Guard will be here for me soon. The Royal Guard? So you're in trouble? If memory serves, yes, a whole heap of trouble. But I owe you an apology and the truth. The whole truth this time. Do you want to hear it? Yes. I was gonna say, if it gives me a choice, I'm hitting yes so fast. We decide to get out of the snow first. Back in the cave, the prince sleeps quietly, and Crow shuffles his deck of cards. I still don't know what to think yet. My mind is numb. I guess I knew that with time magic, something like this was theoretically possible. But everyone says that no one has ever been able to make it happen for real. Most scholars dismiss time magic as improbable and unwieldy and dangerous. The idea of a time traveler is a fantasy, unheard of. Could I really be speaking to one right now? Okay, I'd just like to point out, I don't know if I voiced it in the first video, but I saw their character designs and was like, they're either the same person or they are related. So, just wanted to say, I kind of called it, maybe not in actual voice in the video, but I definitely thought that when I looked at them. And there's no other reason for both of them to be traveling together when everybody else is alone. It just kind of is weird otherwise. Though I'm kind of curious as to why he came back. Yay for loops. Um, okay. I might be talking for a while, so I hope I don't bore you. No, please, I really want to understand. Huh. Well, alright then, you asked for it. But damn, I hardly know where to start. Well, for one thing, I never wanted to be a prince, and I certainly didn't want to be a king. But I always thought that was the only thing I could ever be. My whole life, everything's been planned out for me since before I was born. There were always tons of folks watching me, making sure I was doing everything I was supposed to. And the list of things I couldn't do, well, let's just say there's a lot of things in the world that ain't proper for the royal family. It was the same for everyone I knew. They all did what the royals wanted, and everything else was forbidden. I never got to leave the palace. I never knew there was anything different. Except, I always had a memory of this man, this strange vagabond with powers, who saved me one night from an avalanche on a mountain. I only half remembered it, and it hardly even felt real. When would I ever have been able to see a real mountain? I thought it was only a dream for a while. Still, it gave me hope. I knew there was another way to be. There were people who didn't live the kind of life I had, the kind that my father thought was the only one worth living. Those people were magic people, and they could do things beyond what anyone imagined. It was because of that mysterious man who saved me that I eventually looked into magical ability for myself. Secretly, of course. When I found out I had some magical potential, my closed little world suddenly opened a big old window. Wow, did your father ever find out about your magic? Hard to say. I don't know for sure if my old man knew what I was doing. But since that's about when he started making harsher laws about magical practice, I reckon he might have had an inkling. It was a hard time, but through it all I remembered that strange vagabond who seemed to be able to do anything, and I felt like I could do anything too. And in a way I could. When it got so that magic was completely forbidden, I used mine to escape. That'll happen in about 10 or 12 years or so. In about 10 or, yeah, look for it. It'll make the news all over the world. Nothing, not to brag or nothing. They'll never find me though. I mean to say they never did. I got away clean. Life was hard living on my own. Always on the run, but I managed it, and I was free to do what I liked. I could smoke and drink and keep whatever company I wanted. Nobody was watching me or telling me to do this or that. My magic always kept me a step ahead of the royal guard. I didn't think I had a care in the world. But as I got older, the face looking at me in the mirror got more and more familiar. I realized I was the strange vagabond for my memories, and it was my responsibility to set myself on this path. My fate, if you believe in that stuff. So I put all my other magic studies aside and started training myself in time magic. There isn't anyone foolish enough to teach that stuff, so I was all on my own, cobbling together what I could from scraps of ancient text. That must have been really hard. I don't know much about magic, but I know most people say time magic is impossible. I even heard someone say the only reason it's not forbidden is because no one can figure it out enough to use it. That's right. But because I'd seen evidence that I'd learn how to do it eventually, that gave me the confidence to keep going. I reckon by now I understand time magic more than any living soul, and there's still so much I don't have a handle on. It's like I'm feeling around in the dark, hoping I'm doing something right, or at least not knocking over anything important. I might be doing damage to the very fabric of the universe right now. I really don't have any way to know. But I know what I saw and what I remember. I figured better to do my part to help the past happen how it did. I just wanted to give myself that little glimpse. Not so much that he gets overwhelmed. Just a little spark that'll burn hotter and hotter the more he grows up. I want to make sure he knows there's people like me in the world, and that he can become one of those people if he's willing to try. But why did you kidnap him? And if you wanted him, you know what I mean. If you wanted to show off your magic, why did you make him fall asleep when you possessed the Night Rock? See, darling, I can't. I think it might say freedom is just another word for nothing left to lose, but I don't know. See, darling, this is where time magic gets tricky. I did things the way I did them because that's how I remember it. I don't remember seeing any magic before the avalanche. But being here on this mountain tonight, that's an important part of the memory. Couldn't figure out how to get him here except to take him myself. Who knows why I ever did that in the first place? I guess it's just one of those tricks of time and fate where one thing feeds into the other. Of course, I've already messed up and done things differently. What do you mean? What's different? You, darling. As soon as I saw you in that tavern and saw you were looking for work, I just had an impulse. I never could resist a beautiful girl, especially one who could lift me over her. What? But you're risking everything to come back in time and do this. Why would you do something so stupid and bring me along? What if everything gets messed up? I know. I'm a damn fool, but that's just my way. If I know anything, it's that I can't worry too much. Otherwise, I'll never have any fun in this life. And meeting you, it's been a lot more than just fun. It's all been worth it, don't you think? See, I want to say yes, it's worth it. But also, like, no, it's not, because what if you really, really fucked up this timeline, buddy? Like, what if you really, really messed up? I want to say yes, it's worth it, because that's what probably she would say. Yes, I'm so glad I met you. Even if you had to break the laws of the universe to get here, he's gonna get fucked up. No one's ever made me feel like this before. Well, here's the thing, he already did it, so there's really no point in, like, chastising him for it. You may as well just kind of be like, yeah, well, I feel the same way about, like, this being a good idea, so I may as well just tell you the truth about that, instead of being like, no, you're an idiot, why'd you do that? He's already done it, there's not really much you can do to fix it. I guess? I don't really have the words to describe it, but if this feeling isn't worth taking a risk for, then nothing is. Jeez. Spoken like a poet. See, I knew you'd understand. We really are cut from the same cloth. I don't know about that. I can't exactly bend space-time like you can. But don't you see? In a way, you already have. One look at you and I decided on the spot to change the course of history. Who knows how the timeline might ripple and change, all because you and I got together on this go-around. I can't see all the ways time is affected. It's too vast and complicated for me, but I bet my life you've made an impact. Don't say that, it's way too much pressure. Sorry, darling, I'm just calling it like I see it. So should I call you Prince Elgandir now? Nah, keep calling me Crow. I like it best because it's what you call me. Wow, that was cheesy as all hell. Besides, the name my folks gave me never suited me much. Suddenly a loud, low note echoes over the mountainside. It's the sound of a horn being blown, the kind used by the Royal Guard of Starlight City. And that'll be the King's forces coming to take me away. They've been looking for me. For the little prince, I mean. Someone saw him at the tavern back there, so they knew he'd be taken over the mountain, and they gathered their troops to catch him in the act. That's what I'll find out later, anyhow. Don't worry about yourself. I'll make sure they don't hold you responsible. No, they can't do this. It's okay, I'll help you escape. Not to worry, darling. I don't have much time left here anyway. Excuse me? I'll be gone before they get here, whether I like it or not. Huh? What do you mean by that? Crow's not listening to me. The Royal Guard's horn sounds again, louder this time. They're getting closer, but he doesn't seem worried. He kneels by the little prince and gently shakes him awake. Once again, I'm struck by how similar they are, now that I know what to look for. Listen up, Prince. Oh, excuse me. Listen up, Prince. You need to tell everyone who will listen that I kidnapped you. Tell them that this nice lady here is the one who chased me off and saved you. Otherwise, they're going to think she's my accomplice. Can you do that for me, little fellow? Okay, I can tell them that. And another thing. It may not feel like it, but your folks really do love you, even if they have a funny way of showing it. Don't forget that, even for a second. But don't let them walk all over you neither. Your old man, he always... Crow's voice catches in the middle of a sentence, and he can't speak. After a moment, he seems to choke back his words, apparently deciding he's said enough. The little prince furrows his brow. He's still half asleep, and I'm not sure he understands, but it sounds to me like Crow just needs to say it for himself. After a bit, the sleep magic kicks in again, and the prince drifts off. I guess this whole journey will register as a dreamlike experience for him, almost like it didn't even happen. But I know he'll never really forget it, and neither will I. Alright, that's as settled as it's gonna get, excuse me. Now that Crow is standing up again, facing me, God damn it! I can see that his body looks like it's fading a little. My heart drops. I can guess what that means, but I desperately hope I'm wrong. Time for me to go, darling. No, you can't. We only just met. It's not fair. That's time magic for you. I can't stay in a time that's not my own. Not for long. I'm gonna snap back to the future any minute now. Bring me with you then. I want to go too. I can't do that either, as much as I'd like to. I'm not sure how to bring someone else with me. And besides, that wouldn't be your time, any more than this one is mine. You snap back eventually, just like I'm doing now. But, can you come back? I just want to see you again. Rosemary, I wish more than anything I could say something now to make you smile. But using time magic to come back here just this once was already harder than anything I've done before. I don't know if I could ever manage to try it again. I'd almost wish I hadn't met you just so I wouldn't have to say goodbye now. But I just can't. Even if it all goes wrong in the worst way, meeting you was worth it. God damn. Why am I attached to these characters? I've been playing this game for like an hour! I've been trying not to cry, but I just can't help it. I rush into his arms and pull him into a deep kiss. His body already feels light and cool, like he's not entirely here. It's not fair. It's not fair. Crow, listen, maybe it's not impossible. If you know more about time magic than anyone, maybe you can find a way that we can be together for good. It's a nice idea, darling, but I don't want you getting your hopes up. I might spend my whole life trying to find a way and never come up with anything. But how about this? I promise you I will try. Even if it does take my whole life, I'll do my damnedest to find a way back to you. I know that what he's saying is impossible. Crow and I can't stay together. When he's gone, he'll be gone for good. But it makes me feel better just to hear him say he'll try. It feels good to pretend. Look out for me in about 20 years, alright? I bet she'll still be real cute. God damn. I've always had a thing for older women anyway. Oh my god! Don't make me laugh, I'll just cry even more. We kiss again for what might be the last time. With every second, Crow fades away more and more. Crow? Yes, darling? I really... Don't you dare. Okay. Before I can finish, he's gone. The prince and I are left here alone with the snow and wind howling around us. I wait, dumbfounded, for the guard to arrive. Things unfold exactly like Crow said they would. When the royal guard catch up with us, the prince tells them I saved him from the kidnapper. I confirm the story, and in Starlight City I'm hailed as a hero. It feels hollow and empty, and I'm barely paying attention. They take the prince away back to his family. There's not much time to say goodbye, but I wouldn't know what to say anyway. I hope it works. I hope he'll be okay. I think he will. He's still out there, somewhere in the future, isn't he? It's only been a few hours since we got back, and there's already talk of the Southern Kingdom making me a knight as a reward for my heroic deed. I don't really feel like I've earned it, but maybe I'm just too sad right now. I've lost something important to me, something I didn't even know I needed. How can I care about anything else? By the end of the night, I'm in a tavern much like the one I started in, lying in my bed, staring at the ceiling. How could I have met Crow and had him taken away from me so quickly? A few days ago, I didn't even know him. How can it hurt this much that he's gone? Even if I did meet him again in the future, could we even be together? After all, he said that he'd have to be on the run. It seems so unfair for it to turn out this way. Why can't he just do what he wants? Why shouldn't he use his magic? It's not like he uses it to do anything bad. Why does being himself have to make him an outlaw? If I do become a knight and the king makes me chase down people like him what if I do become a knight and the king makes me chase down people like him someday? I don't want that. I feel confused, tired, and empty. Most of all, I just miss him. But life will go on, won't it? I'll become a knight. A real knight. Just like I've dreamed about since I was small. I can go back to the farm and make everyone proud, and I'll decide what kind of knight I want to be. I'll be a good one who protects people like Crow, or anyone who needs help. No one can stop me from being who I want to be. That's what Crow taught me. And who knows, in 20 years, he'll be the Crow I recognize again. It won't be the same. It won't ever be the same, but it'll still be him, even if it's not the him I knew. That's something to look forward to. Suddenly, my deep thoughts are interrupted by a flash of blue light. Excuse me? I bolt up in bed. Someone's in my room. What's going on? I can't believe it. He's older again. Does he have another scar? Shit. I'm sorry to keep you waiting, darling. For me, it's only been a few hours. For him, it's clearly been years. 10 at least. Maybe more. He looks older, exhausted, haggard. But it's him. It's Crow. It's really you, isn't it? You're not going to disappear again? Not this time. It didn't take me a lifetime, just a decade or so of study. But I cracked it. I figured it out. I'm here again, darling, for good. Most folks thought I was crazy doing all this for someone I hardly knew for a day, but what can I say? I just can't leave a pretty girl alone. I hope you don't mind that I'm not quite so young and handsome anymore. I rush to him and hold him in my arms. It feels so good to do that again. You're perfect. I missed you so much. He was gone for like a... Not as much as I missed you, believe me. It must have been so hard. I'm so sorry you had to go through that. All that time. I'll have plenty of stories to tell you, that's for sure. The kingdom's a much worse place for magic folk in the future. That's something I want to try to change as much as I can now that I'm back in the past. Excuse me, I read that sentence really weird. Are you sure you're okay with that, darling? Nobody quite knows who I am here, but still won't exactly be living by the law. I don't want to drag you into anything that'll wreck up your future. I don't care about that. I'll stay with you. I'll fight by your side no matter what. I'm glad to hear that. But there'll be plenty of time for that later. For now. He smiles at- oh my god. He smiles at me and gently guides me back to the bed. We've got to make up for lost time. Wait, what about his bird friend that's just been sitting on his shoulder this entire time? I want to know about that. Is he important or is he just like a buddy? Also, that was like way shorter than I thought it was going to be for like one route, so I can actually definitely do more than one. I still really love the music for this game, and I really love the art. It was shorter than I was expecting for one route, and I didn't really rush through it at all. Like, there's not really anything you can rush through. There were also fewer choices than I was expecting to see, based on the demo, but it might have just been this route in particular. But no, I really enjoyed it. And I actually very much look forward to playing it again. I'm curious about the other routes, and I want to know like what the other things are. And I think that there's also bad endings where you don't end up with the prince you were escorting, but I don't know how to get there. I'm assuming you just answer really shittily to all of their questions, but I'm not really sure. So I guess we'll find out. My plan is hopefully that when this video comes out, this last one comes out, I'm going to ask you guys, and probably have not recorded a second one yet, but I'm going to ask you guys which prince you'd like to see me escort next. So if you forget, it's Tyrone the Dragon Prince. I forget the other guys. I think it was his name Koya. Is that his name? Was it Koya? It was the Beast Prince, and then it was the Fey Prince. So which one would you like to see next? Let me know. Like, actually let me know which one you'd like to see me play next. I might have recorded them ahead of time, and I might just put them out in order based on which ones you guys prefer to see next, but I might have not recorded it, so hit me up, let me know which one you want to see. But this has been Rose of Winter. I very much enjoyed it. I hope you guys have as well. Thank you all for watching and sticking around, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye!